John Cranton with JimFeist.com. Let's take a look at the Canadians Bruins upcoming playoff series, a battle of old rivals. Montreal dominated much of the first 60 years, but since 1988, Boston has won 7 of the last 10 meetings. That included a 2011 meeting where 3 of the games went overtime, and Boston won Game 7 in overtime. In fact, 3 of the last 4 season blitz of the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings were a young and fast team, but they were not 100% healthy. They're going to be facing a Montreal team that is similar. They're also young and fast, but they're much better and healthy. Tampa Bay in impressive fashion, outscoring them 16-10, 2-0-2 over the total. Wasn't quite the defensive series that many of us thought, but Tampa Bay's weak spot is in goal. Boston doesn't have that weakness. Now the Canadians, fantastic defensive team, 8th in the NHL in goals allowed, just 2.5 per game. They're 4th in penalty killing, led by 26-year-old defenseman Carey Price, or goaltender Carey Price, 34-20-5 record, 2.23 goals against, and outstanding defenseman PK Subban. The offense, though, has some problems. Offense is 21st in goals scored, 19th on the power play. They don't have balance either, led by 25-year-old left winger Max Pacioretty. He had 39 goals and 21 assists, a terrific star season, but only one other player on the team hit the 20-goal mark. Now, Montreal for the season finished plus 11 in goals scored. Boston plus 84 outscoring opponents. Now, the Bruins are a defensive-first team for Coach Claude Julien. Tremendous depth as they roll 4 lines, and they're healthy. They had a 15-1-1 March, which put the President's Trophy away for the top record in the NHL. This team was champs in 2011. They were the Eastern Conference champs last year as a number 4 seed. This team has tremendous balance, 3rd in the NHL in goals scored and on the power plays. Amazing balance as they have 2 30-goal scorers in Jerome Iginla and Patrice Bergeron. They also have 3 guys who scored 20 or more goals. Now, the last few years, Boston and the LA Kings, they won Stanley Cups, but they had 2 of the worst power plays in NHL history. And the Bruins' power play has been a very weak spot for much of the last 3 years, but not so this season. What happened is last year in the Toronto playoff series, they utilized 6'9" defenseman Zdeno Chara in front of the net in desperation fashion. Well, it worked as they scored some power play goals, and they decided to continue that for much of this season, and that has vastly upgraded the Boston offense. They're 3rd in the NHL in goals scored, but they're also 3rd on the power play. Still, it is a defensive-first team for this coach, 2nd in the NHL in goals scored, 8th in penalty killing, led by goaltender Tuukka Rask, 36-15-6, 2.04 goals against. They just held a very good Detroit offense to 6 total goals in 5 games. So really, there's a couple ways to look at this series. If you're asking who's going to win, I'll take a shot with Montreal in 7 games, the slight underdog here. It's probably going to be a 7-game series. There's a lot of things that are evenly matched. But on an individual basis, number one, take a look at the underdog in each game during the regular season. Montreal took 3 out of the 4 meetings. One of the wins was 4-1. Boston won a 4-1 game. The other 2 games, Montreal won 2-1 scores. In one of them, they were a plus 180 dog that ended Boston's 12-game winning streak. And also look at each game to go under the total. It's probably going to be a defensive, cautious series. And Boston comes in on a 3-1-4 run under the total. Good luck with the games. Make sure you check out JimFeist.com for more playoff previews.